Monday morning, that familiar dread creeping in as your alarm goes off. You drag yourself out of bed knowing you've got 5 days ahead of you, 8 hours each day, before you get your precious 2-day weekend back. But here's what's wild, and I bet you've never really stopped to think about this. Why exactly is it 40 hours? Why not 30? Why not 50? Who decided that 8 hours of your day, 5 days a week, was the magic formula for, well, everything? I want to dig into the stories behind the stuff we just accept as normal. And today, we're about to uncover one of the biggest workplace assumptions of all time. Right now, over 85% of full-time workers in America are locked into this 40-hour work week. It shapes when we wake up, when we see our families, when we live our actual lives. It determines daycare schedules, traffic patterns, even when TV shows air. But here's the thing that's going to surprise you. This wasn't handed down from some ancient wisdom. The 40-hour work week is barely 80 years old as a legal standard. And its origin story? It's way more fascinating and rebellious than you'd ever imagine. Hi, I'm Jenny Clark, a conscious leadership expert who spent 2 decades in executive recruiting and talent management, having worked with giants like Google and Spencer Stuart. I discovered that the secret to transformative leadership lies in the 5 dimensions of conscious leadership. And I'm here to help you unlock your full potential. Join me on this channel as we embark on an honest and vulnerable journey together to become the kind of leader that genuinely inspires transformation in your organization. I've got a little career boosting secret for you. Do you want the inside scoop on leadership plus some juicy tips and hot takes you won't hear anywhere else? I've got a newsletter that's basically your personal career coach in your inbox. Just click the link below in the description to join in. And if you're loving this content, I know you are, click that subscribe button. It's like giving me a virtual fist bump, ensuring you won't miss out on any future videos. Picture this. It's 1810 and you're working in a textile mill. The sun comes up, you start working. The sun goes down, you keep working. Gas lamps get installed. Great, now you can work even longer. We're talking 12, 14, sometimes 16-hour days. 6, not 5 days a week. But here's where it gets interesting. The very first people to say, hold up, this is insane, weren't politicians or business leaders. They were a group of carpenters in Philadelphia in 1827. These guys just decided one day, we're working 10 hours, and that's it. They went on strike, and it worked. This sparked something incredible. By the 1830s, workers across America were chanting, 8 hours for work, 8 hours for rest, 8 hours for what we will. Think about how radical that was. They weren't just asking for better pay, they were demanding time. Time to think, to learn, to be human. Sound familiar? Now you might think this is where the story gets simple. Workers asked, eventually they got it. End of story. But oh no, this took over 100 years and some pretty dramatic plot twists. Enter Henry Ford in 1914. And no, he didn't do this out of the goodness of his heart. Ford was facing a massive turnover. People literally couldn't handle the assembly line work. So he did something shocking. He cut the workday from 9 hours to 8 and doubled wages. His competitors thought he'd lost his mind. But here's Ford's genius. Well-rested workers were more productive, made fewer mistakes, and could actually afford to buy the cars they were making. Revolutionary concept, right? But even Ford's example wasn't enough to change everything. It took the Great Depression and a guy named Hugo Black to really shake things up. By 1933, unemployment was at 25%. Senator Hugo Black had this wild idea. What if we legally limited everyone to 30 hours a week? His thinking was brilliant. Spread the available work among more people, boom, less unemployment. The bill actually passed the Senate. But then FDR stepped in with a compromise. And here's where our modern 40-hour work week was really born. Instead of Black's 30-hour mandate, we got the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938, which said anything over 40 hours required overtime pay. And here's the kicker. It wasn't because 40 hours was optimal for productivity or human well-being. It was a political compromise between work people to death and revolutionary work reduction. We've been living with that compromise ever since. So I got curious. What would an AI make of all this? I asked several AI systems to imagine how a truly conscious leader might approach work hours if they were designing from scratch today with everything we know about productivity, human psychology, and technology. The responses were fascinating. Here's what emerged. First, AI suggested we're thinking about this all wrong. Instead of hours worked, what if we measured outcomes achieved? One AI painted this picture. Teams that focus on deep work in focused 4 to 6 hour blocks with flexible schedules based on when individuals are naturally most creative and energetic. The term deep work was popularized by computer science professor Cal Newport in his book Deep Work, 2016, where he defines it as professional activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that push your cognitive abilities to their limit. Deep work is used in contrast to routine or administrative tasks. The AI's suggestion was that instead of spreading all types of work evenly across a 40-hour week, we might be more effective if we schedule cognitively demanding work during peak mental energy hours, often mornings for many people. Batch similar types of tasks together. Protect focused work time from interruptions and meetings. Reserve less demanding tasks for when our mental energy naturally dips. The idea is that 4 to 6 hours of truly focused, uninterrupted work on important tasks might be more valuable than 8 hours of fragmented attention split between emails, meetings, and project work. Another AI proposed something called energy-based scheduling, where work time is allocated based on the type of energy different tasks require. High creativity work when your brain is fresh, routine tasks when you're naturally in maintenance mode, collaborative work when you're socially energized. But here's what really got me thinking. One AI suggested that our 40-hour standard might actually be holding back human potential. It asked, what if people had enough time to pursue passion projects, learn new skills, or solve community problems? How much innovation are we losing to exhaustion? The AI even suggested pilot programs where companies could experiment with different approaches. Some teams trying 32-hour work weeks, others doing seasonal schedules, some going fully outcome-based. Imagine if we treated work schedules like beta tests instead of unchangeable laws of nature. So here we are, nearly 90 years later, still living with Hugo Black's compromise. A schedule that was designed to solve 1930s unemployment, not optimize human potential for modern productivity. But here's what I really want you to know, and this is where you come in. If you could redesign work from scratch, knowing everything you know now about human psychology, technology, and what actually makes people thrive, what would you create? Are there some of you already experimenting with this? Maybe you've negotiated flexible hours or you're running a business with non-traditional schedules. I want to hear about it. Drop a comment and tell me, what's your ideal work schedule and why? Are you stuck in the 40-hour box or have you found a way to break free? And if you're a leader watching this, what's stopping you from experimenting? This is just the beginning of our journey through the history of work. Next week, we're diving into something that'll surprise you even more. The fascinating origins of the job interview and why that process makes absolutely no sense for how we actually work today. Hit subscribe if you want to keep questioning the workplace assumptions we all just accept. And I'll see you soon when we uncover another hidden story behind the way we work. I get it. Taking that first step can feel daunting. I've been there too. But here's the thing. You've got strengths you might not even realize yet. I've put together a free career mapping framework to help you uncover those hidden talents and chart your own path forward. It's not about changing everything overnight. It's about starting to see your potential clearly. Ready to explore? The framework's waiting for you. Just click the link in the description. Your future self will thank you for taking this small but powerful step today.